Hey guys, welcome back to another episode here on Overdrive Reviews. Thanks so much for being with us here. Today, checking out this 2024 Kia Sportage. Now, the Kia Sportage, 10, 15 years ago when it came out, or even longer than that actually, was really kind of a clunker of a vehicle. Didn't have a ton of amenities, wasn't really made all that well, was not pretty to look at. Well, for 2024, Kia has really stepped up their game. This particular one, again, is the LX. It is a base entry model for the Sportage lineup. There are different trims that I'll get into later in the video here, but the Sportage really kind of prioritizes practicality, versatility, and space over thrill, fun, and sportiness. Yeah, there's a sport mode, but doesn't really do a whole lot. The vehicle does come with front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive capabilities. Rather small, appearing on the outside as a compact SUV, but actually has a hidden amount of space. There is also a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle Sportage, as well as a hybrid Sportage. Both of those are faster than this purely gasoline version. This design language is phenomenal, if you ask me. It's very unique, it's avant-garde, it's futuristic, and it might be too much for some people. This front grille, yeah, it kind of smiles at you. It has the tiger nose still kind of right here. So today I'll give you a full review of the outside of the inside of this car. There's some plastic and cheaper materials on the inside, especially because this is a lower end entry base model Sportage, but we'll give you a full review of the interior of the cargo space, and of course take it out on the road as well and let you know what it drives like, what it feels like, what it sounds like out on the open road. If you are new to the channel here, thank you so much for finding us. Please like this video, subscribe below, and leave a comment about what kind of Sportage you have, what kind of Kia you have, and if you're a returning viewer, thank you so very much for staying with us. All right, let's hop into the engine bay actually first and talk about the power plant that is underneath this hood. All right, so under the hood here, we have a 187 horsepower, 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine. That is the only engine you can get on the 2024 Kia Sportage. Front-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, that is it. Pumps out 178 pound-feet of torque as well. And it's all mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. And again, front-wheel drive, all-wheel drive compatible, which is really, really cool. Now, the bad news is this is a rather sluggish SUV. This engine sprints to 60 in about 9.1 seconds. I mentioned earlier that there's a hybrid Sportage available. The hybrid is much quicker, a little zippier at 7.4 seconds. So if you want more speed, more get up and go, the hybrid is definitely the way to go as far as the Sportage. Now, the max towing capacity of this gasoline powered Sportage is about 2,500 pounds, which is okay. That's a small trailer. You're not really towing, an RV or anything like that. Nothing too big, but 2,500 pounds is probably okay for someone who has a small SUV like this. And let's talk about fuel economy, because I mentioned earlier it's pretty good, even though it's an SUV. 25-32 with front-wheel drive, so 25 city, 32 highway with front-wheel drive. All-wheel drive does not suffer all that much at all. 23 city, 28 highway. The engine not all that refined, a little whiny under acceleration, which you'll hear later on in the video here today. But in general, Kia again has that massive warranty, that really big warranty, so you should have major peace of mind. Let's talk about the exterior of the car here now. We also talked earlier about how many trims there are. Now, this LX here starts around $28,000. There's an EX, then an X line, then an SX, an SX Prestige, an X Pro, and then the top of the line X Pro Prestige tops out around $39,000. And that is more off-road ready, really nice big tires, more trim to make it look more rugged. But in all, I mean, the Sportage to me is not a car I'm really looking to take off-road and go crazy with. Let's go to the front here. For this year, LED projector headlights are now standard on all trims. You can see them kind of on right there, super bright here during the day, so they're not flashing as much as they should be, or they're not showing up as much as they should be. But I really love this design language here. I mean, these angled lights, just how they're all situated and packed in there with this classic Kia grille. Still looks very Kia in through here. Let's put the top down actually so we can see this better. There we go. Still looks very Kia in the front here, despite the new design language that they're putting in all of their vehicles. Yeah, I love these headlights and how they're all integrated. And look at this, it like runs up the side of the hood. I mean, the Hyundais have this as well, but they've really upped their design language to a level where, you know, I do think that people are giving them double takes and going, what the heck is that thing? And again, maybe too over the top for some folks. And the Sportage also rides on a new platform with a longer wheelbase this year. And I talked about that space earlier on in my review here. There is a longer wheelbase, which means more room for passengers, for things. And look at this. I mean, it almost looks like the size of the Sorento 5-6 years ago. And now the Sorento is even larger. I mean, SUVs just keep getting bigger. They keep having to introduce new models to make sure there's a small one still in their lineup. These are Nexen Rodian. They are 235/65 R17s. Yes, so they have four-wheel disc brakes all the way around here. Kind of a snowflake design for the rim. They're a little too small for me. I mean, there's a lot of black cladding around the wheel wells here, around the front as well. I do like this chrome trim right here, down by where the running board would be if there was one. The wheels could be a little bit bigger in my opinion. The tires take up too much of the space. I mean, I love a big, nice rim, so I would personally have to opt up to a higher trim just to get better wheels. And you've got black absolutely everywhere here, which is quite nice. No camera system down there. There is no blinker in this mirror either. There's also no blind spot monitoring. There is an option at the higher end models. Right here you've got your gas door for you. Again, no electricity a part of this vehicle at all. This is purely a gasoline car, so nothing for me to describe in there for you. Really love this right here. This reminds me of the Kia Carnival van. The Kia Carnival has a huge one of these, like, you know, textured little inserts right here in this aft window. It doesn't go down or do anything, but I think it's a nice little touch. A little bit of prestigiousness, a little bit of premier luxury touching here on the exterior of the Sportage. Let's go around back here. The brake lights, look at that. They look like a winged cat eye or something, but this looks like a nice cinched piece. Really sweeps up nicely into what is kind of a almost a middle of the rear wing or something. It's very Genesis right here, very Genesis GV80 in my opinion. The rear wiper, by the way, the rear wiper hidden up in here. It is very much like a Lexus, where it's hidden nicely under the rear backup light, or the rear brake light rather, and you can't even tell it's there. It doesn't take up any real estate on your rear window, giving you more visibility. Great job in my opinion. A massive Kia logo. Look how huge that thing is. I'll put my hand next to it just to give you some perspective. Look at it. It's massive. Kia, the width of my entire hand. Sportage right there for you as well. Some more plastic back here than I would like, but it actually looks nice. You really can't tell it's plastic until you're up on it. It looks kind of chromy, but it's absolutely plastic. Let me zoom in, or let me, there you go. It's definitely plastic. There are parking sensors back here as well. A rear tail light here for you, a backup light, and there also are some rear backup lights integrated into the tail light section for you too. Yeah, handsome vehicle. I wouldn't call it pretty, I wouldn't call it sexy, but it's definitely attractive enough for the average buyer. And back here too, this is where the cargo room comes into play. Just tap down here. It's not a power lifting gate, but certainly more than enough room back here. I mean, 40 cubic feet of space with those second row seats still up. And when you fold them down at the pull of a lever, by the way, 1, 2, they do go totally flat, except for that one is hitting the back of my seat. Let's push that down right there. So they're almost completely flat. Look at that. That opens it up to 74 cubic feet of space in this small, compact SUV. 74 cubic feet of space. Like I told you, Kia somehow really hide their available, cubic feet in their space in them. Very much like the Soul. And down here also is still a bunch more room. There is a spare tire down here, but there's dual level cargo capacity almost. If you didn't have this wheel in there and you took it out, you could fit some more road things down there, a small flatter bag, anything like that. And this feels nice and heavy duty as well. Folds right back down. Small cubbies on either side for you over here. There's no wells that go down or anything, so you can't really put any bottles or anything big like that. There is space here for a privacy cover if you so choose to have one come with your Kia Sportage. Over here, a 12-volt outlet for you as well. But look at this, 74 cubic feet of space and 40 behind that second row. A lot of room in this smaller SUV. Let's go to the back seat now. Let's close this. Again, it is not a power closing gate at all, unfortunately. But look at the design of the door here. Once more, this nice attempt to add higher end, trim and inserts. It looks great and it feels great to the touch as well. And these handles, well done. These feel nice to the touch, and they look cool as well. Again, it's quirky, it's weird, it's different. Down here, speaker in the door for you as well. You do have the classic Kia plastic and black trim around the window button here for you. This definitely gets marked up easily with fingerprints and with dirt and grime. This is one big piece of plastic as well, really hard molded plastic, but you know, can't complain about that. They really made the attempt here on the base model too. Again, you got to remember this is also the base model. So with these seats down, you got to actually pull that lever down there to pull these seats up. So I got to do this with one hand. Let's see if I can do it. There we go. Sorry about the angle on the camera, but the seats go right back up for you, and they're pretty easy to get back up. They're not heavy. The system kind of helps you do it. And that side, let's walk around and do that side, because it is a 2-1 split. And boy, is it hot out here today. But let's pull this one back up as well. There we go. All right, and so here in the center, you do have the center armrest with more cup holders available for you. I wish this didn't go like down like this. This feels a little chintzy and weird. This could feel a little bit better in my opinion. But the seats are nice. Look at this. Has kind of like the shape of the headlights in the design of the seats here. And they are all cloth, at least on this vehicle. Leather is an option on the higher trims, but more than enough room for 3 adults back here. There is a slight little hump in the center because this car does have all-wheel drive. Not much back here, just vents. You really can't control anything but, like, you know, turn it off or turn it on. The X on the left and the wind on the right. No wind, no air, lots of air, which is really cool. It's the same up front. No charging ports back here either, which I find kind of weird. Even on a base model, that's kind of a given in cars nowadays. So no charging capabilities back here. Let me actually sit down here for a second. This seat is up a little bit further than I would normally have it, maybe back a couple of inches, but I still have enough leg room for sure. And you got a nice view of the front. That's your first look at the front here with all my bags and stuff everywhere. We'll hop up there in one moment. But the seats are comfortable. A little bit I'm lacking on the under thigh support. I do think after a while I would get a little cramped with having my legs shoved up into my upper body region. I'm also taller, so maybe that's why. But as far as, like, you know, headroom, look at me. Yeah, I'm actually fine. Tons of headroom left. Not sure if I'm getting that in the shot here, but definitely am not hitting the top of the roof at all. You do have a small little vanity map light here for all the passengers in the rear to use together. You've got these, obviously the grip to hold on to, your handles here, some hanging things for a suit jacket or something like that. Map flap right there, and that's all she wrote. I had a 2015 Kia Soul, by the way, and this is exactly what the buttons looked like in every single on every single door. So Kia has not changed those in like 10 years, which is kind of funny. Let's hop up front now and see what the front of the vehicle and what those passengers have to experience. So a two-tone color scheme is available on the Sportage, but so is all black, and that is what this Sportage has. All black absolutely everywhere, and I am a fan. I think black is just classic and sleek and looks great everywhere. Kind of the same thing up here as in the rear, this nice snakeskin type insert here. Only the driver window is automatic up and down. Everyone else, yeah, you gotta hold the button. This all looks very cheap and very old. This looks like something out of 2010. Here on the LX, let's get to the seats for us real quick. Let me zoom out a little bit. There we go. Everything is manual, as you can see. This massive lever right here raises the seat up and down, and you have to use this bar in the front to slide the seat back and forth. So I know a lot of folks aren't used to manual seats anymore, but some folks don't mind them. I mean, it's less parts to break, right? So you do have manual seats on the driver's and the passenger side, but that same sort of design here as in the rear, I would also be fine with the seats being totally black. Let's go to the center console here. Let's actually get in first and get out of the sun because it is so damn hot today. Whew. Door check, nice and solid. Do it again. That is not what Kia is used to sound like. Not a rattle to be heard. Solid thunk. Great job. Now, what I don't love, yeah, it is still a physical key that I have to insert on a nearly $30,000 vehicle in 2024. This thing was made in October of 2023, and I have to insert the key. Oh my God, does anyone remember how to even do this? Here you go. This is how you do it in case you forget. You turn. There you go. So let's talk about the center console here for a second. This is an 8-inch screen. That is the standard screen on all of the Sportages. There is a 12.3-inch screen available. The 12.3-inch screen does have better graphics and is better laid out and looks nicer, obviously, filling up all this empty black space that is here on this one. You do have some nice touch options right here for you as well. You can actually seek, it's just touch. There's not an actual button there. You just actually tap it and it changes the station or whatever you're trying to do. It's not haptic, it doesn't like vibrate at you or anything like that, but it does kind of seem surprising that you can actually tap that and it does something kind of cool. The center screen here, very easy to use, very Kia-esque, very Kia friendly. If you've ever used a Kia before, it will certainly look familiar. It's a little delayed, I'm going to be honest. Like watch when I tap setup. There's just a second delay, a little bit of a delay that I don't love so much, but it all looks very, very familiar. Really easy to use down here for you. Some nice piano black glossy trim. It's a little dusty, a little kind of fingered up if you don't take care of it. But again, this nice snakeskin insert here along the dash. It runs the entire length of the dash here, except for right behind the wheel, which is okay with me. It integrates nicely with the side here. So from this screen to this screen, every single Sportage has this though, a digital gauge cluster, which big fan of. Kia really giving you the technology and the updates that you really should have in some areas. They're not there the whole way through, but they definitely are delivering in this center gauge here. And the center screen is controlled by this. So just push this and you'll toggle through the different things here. So driver setup, user settings, tire pressure, this is when you're driving, your trip information. Just using this up and down button right here, you can actually scroll through some really cool things. Like if you go to lights, you can actually change the turn signal and how many flashes it gives you. 7 flashes, 5 flashes, or 3. A lot of cars are only available with 3 flashes. Kia's like, no, you should have the option to have 7 or 5. I think that's kind of cool. And you can turn it off altogether as well. So if you go back, you can actually do more things like, let's see, what else did I love when I was in here earlier? One of my most favorite things in this, especially for a $28,000 car, is that under driver assistance, and then go down to driver attention, and look at this, leading vehicle departure. The car will tell you and make a beeping sound when the car in front of you at a stoplight takes off and you're not paying attention. It'll go ding 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 ding, letting you know, hey dude, you're sitting at a green light by yourself, go. It's actually quite useful and very user friendly. Let's go to the steering wheel here. The nice new age Kia design for us. You've got your different media settings over here. Different mode is actually for, you know, radio, Bluetooth, Sirius XM, that kind of stuff. That is what changes the center screen there. Over here you've got your lane keep assist. You've got different options for cruise control. So a pretty standard steering wheel, and it feels nice to the touch. I'm a fan of how it looks. I'm a fan of how this entire front dash, this front cockpit looks. I mean, for being, again, the entry-level Sportage compared to what they used to be, I'm kind of a fan. I like it quite a bit. And one thing I forgot to mention, down there, the speakers, by the way, you know, there's speakers up there as well. There is a Harman Kardon premium sound system available. This car does not have it. It just has the base system that the Kia comes with. But you know, it does an okay job. It doesn't sound incredible, but you know, the Harman Kardon I would definitely go for. Over here, you got some more buttons for you. You got your parking brake, you've got your traction control, and then light illumination over here for you. Down here at the gear shifter, yeah, still hate these. I've hated these for years. Like the 2010 Kia Optimas came with these, and they just, I don't know, they look crazy. I don't like them at all. For as sleek and as, you know, modern as this car looks, this looks hella old. Kia needs to get rid of this. They also need to get rid of how they stylize their font on their different buttons and different doors and things. This 12 volt, this is the exact same stuff that my Kia Soul had in 2015. That looks exactly the same. The USB looks whatever, and the USB-C looks whatever as well. And you do have an option down here for you know, different things to hold your phone, different devices. This also has the heated seats for the front passenger and front driver seat. And one of my favorite things, look at these cup holders. Whoop, whoop. They come out of nowhere. They're like hidden. What a cool, quirky feature. Or just tap, tap. Yeah, look at that. And there's a small little reservoir, a little holding area back here as well in case you need more room than that. Up front here, you got your downhill assist, auto hold, you've got your automatic start stop, you've got your parking cameras, or your backup camera rather, push that, and your rear view camera comes on and off, and you can check while you're sitting still what is behind you. Make sure there's nothing dangerous behind you or a kid or anything like that. Parking sensor button here for you as well. Driving mode, there are a couple different driving modes. There's sport, smart, kind of eco, snow, and then of course normal up top. All you got to do is just, you know, toggle to the one you want. Don't push down on this button to select the drive mode. If you push down, that actually will lock the four-wheel drive or the all-wheel drive into place. But a big fan of the front cockpit here. Actually really no large complaints other than this feels a little chintzy. I like the dash also. It doesn't look cheap. Definitely full of plastic, but it does not look like it's crazy plastic. I love the really cool different shaped vents they give you here. This is nicely angled toward the driver so I can see the screen without any glare. It's almost a slightly curved front piece here. Up here, these visor mirrors are massive. They are huge. No sunroof on this particular model for you, but you got your normal map lights and everything up here. The center console, not all that deep. The center armrest, rather, not all that deep. And this feels a little chintzy. This appears to be leather, but it is indeed not. Does not move, does not slide, does not go up. It kind of just holds half of your arm. The seats are okay cushion-wise, okay comfort-wise. I could use more bolstering down there at the side of your legs and over here as well. I feel like after a couple of years, those will get worn out and kind of give in and get squashed down. They won't be nearly as supportive. I could also use power seats. This is 2024 after all. All right, what do you say we get this thing out on the road and see what she does in the city, out on the highway, on back roads? Let's get moving. All right, so out on the road in the 2024 Sportage, and I have my turn signal on. Can you hear it? It's subtle and so quiet, and I wish every single car sounded like this. We've all heard that, and they're obnoxious and just too loud. Kia's is smooth and just gentle. There's no craziness to it. My camera is falling out of the way here. What is going on today? While we're sitting here, I want to talk about some of the standard safety features too. Automatic emergency braking, lane keep assist, lane departure warning type things, forward collision mitigation, all sorts of basic standard safety features that every car should come with, but not everyone does. Kia has it built in. There is available blind spot monitoring. You can also get rear cross traffic alert, plus peace of mind with that big 10-year 100,000-mile warranty and 5-year 60,000-mile limited new car warranty. So yeah, the 10-year 100,000 applies to the powertrain. The 5-year 60,000 is the overall car. But getting up to speed here, I'm gonna give it some gas. It's not quick, but it doesn't really sound all that bad. It's definitely insulated nicely. I've driven Toyotas that sound more whiny and more tinny and just louder under acceleration than that just did. Really, really surprised there. Some harder downshifting whenever you accelerate up a small incline there to get down to a lower gear. Could use a little more refinement there in my book. 8-speed automatic transmission is what is mated to this 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine. Again, pumping out 187 horsepower, 178 pound-feet of torque. The brakes feel good. A little bit of hesitation off the start though. I don't know if it's because the air's on and it's really hot today, but I think a turbo would do the Sportage wonders as far as a little bit more of a faster response off the line. Let's hit the brakes here a little hard. Good. Great. The forward mitigation system engaged with me, also hitting the brakes. Came to a nice quick halt. It's a quiet ride. I don't hear wind blowing by the windows. I really, really want to impart to folks watching this that Kia is not the same, car company it used to be. It used to be bottom barrel, bottom basement, bargain hunting only. 20 years ago, Kia, you wouldn't have ever thought could compete with Honda and Toyota, but they really are now. They're definitely stealing customers away who want to save money, and the cost of new cars is just astronomical. This car, the Kia Sportage, was closer to 20 grand when it came out years and years ago. It's almost pushing 30 now. I do feel the only major con is the sluggish 4-cylinder engine. All right, going up a hill now. I'm going to give it some gas. It's floored and it's having some issue getting up this hill here. Air conditioning is still on. The car kind of shook when I gave it a full to the floor. The downshifting is a little rough, a little more, I think it could be a little bit more smooth if I had to complain about that. Imperfections in the road, these 17-inch rims and tires really soak them up nicely. And you have to remember, Kia is the car cousin to Hyundai, so a lot of their vehicles are right on the same platform and have a lot of the same options and same interior designs and things like that, or same hardware, I guess. Maybe not the design so much, but the hardware is largely the same. But I've always thought that Kia just did the design better. To me, the Telluride looks better than the Palisade. The Kia Soul looks better than the Hyundai Venue. I just think Kia's design aesthetics are just far superior to Hyundai, even though Hyundai is the parent company. So I don't know. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think about the Hyundai versus Kia design language? I kind of think it's a close battle, but I think Kia comes out on top. Let's do an acceleration here for you. I'm going to turn the air completely off in 3, 2. We are at 50 and 60 miles an hour. All right, yeah, definitely a slow sprint, if you want to call it a sprint even. But in all, the Sportage is quite a winner, I think. I mean, the price ranges from about $28,000 up to $39,000, depending on, you know, what trim level you get. There's all kinds of options in between the LX and the top of the line X Pro. The X Pro looks really, really cool. My suggestion, go up 1 or 2 levels to the EX, to the SX, and you'll have more options. You'll have a larger screen. To me, 40 grand for a Kia Sportage, whether it has all-terrain tires or not, is just stupid. A huge shout out to the folks at Kramer's Middletown and their budget rental division. They let me this car for the day. Check out their information below here and as well down in the video description. Thank you so much for watching. That is it for today's review of this Kia Sportage. Follow us over on Instagram at Overdrive Reviews and on TikTok too. That is it for right now. We will see all of you next time.